Bitcoin has been consolidating above the major $32,000 resistance for the last 5 days. Will Bitcoin close the monthly candle above this level, or are we going to see a correction to retest? Let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Bitcoin from a weekly, a daily, a short-term, and even a monthly perspective, going over the key technical and structural levels as well as the next likely moves for Bitcoin. We'll also be discussing the total cryptocurrency market cap and the possibility of a rejection from this local high point. Before we get into it, smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical and structural information, and the relevant economic news. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you're interested in, join us on Telegram. It is the third link down below. In here, we post updates, charts, analysis, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop of cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. If you are interested in joining our VIP group, we post trading signals with exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. You'll also get access to our group chats, our general chat, our trading chat and education chat, our news chat, our trade setup chat, our help chat, and our video chat. If you're interested in getting access to all of that and finding out more information, go ahead and contact me. We actually do have a sale at the moment. You can click this link over here to find out all the information, including our entire trading track record. Let's go ahead, guys, and dive into the video, starting on the market data. So how are we looking for today? So as you know, the weekend does come around, and with that, volume seems to dissipate. We can see volume has reduced by 42.48% in the last 24 hours, sitting at a total of 43 billion. And as that, 24-hour liquidations are as well down 57%, sitting at a total of 42 million. Of the 42 million in liquidations, we can see a small majority have come from the short liquidations and 18 million have come from long liquidations. So not particularly split down the middle, but not too aggressively leaning toward one side either. Taking a look at that price action, we can see more or less, besides a few liquidity grabs toward the downside liquidity zone and toward the upside level of resistance, we can see primarily we are moving in this horizontal continuation, this horizontal range within a larger horizontal level. We're discussing this in our short-term video today, and with that consolidation, we do see, again, both longs and both shorts start to be chopped up. So we are seeing a lot of chop, a lot of sideways compression, and again, a lot of sporadic price action on the short term. We're discussing this in our video today. Moving back to our data over here on the volatility index, we can see on the 30-day, we have pushed up and we are starting to plateau. And on the 60-day, we can see we did push up on the 60-day and we are starting to fall back down again. Falling volatility is an expression of potential weakness. It is suggesting, again, we are starting to lose strength at this level, something to be keeping your eyes on. Let's go ahead and jump into the stock market. So the DXY has broken out of the short-term downtrend again, expecting the DXY to continue up in the new week. We are looking now for 108.4 to 108. If the DXY does want to see a continuation lower, we are now looking at that 50 EMA as a support level, and therefore a loss of the 50 will confirm a rejection down to this lower range. However, until we lose that 50, expecting the price to actually continue up for the DXY. Moving over to the stock market. The S&P 500 is looking pretty atrocious here, guys, actually losing that base of support. Again, this base of support here is quite an important base of support. If we actually drag a date range over here, we can see this is around a 550-day level of support. We have actually officially broken below it. Now, if we do continue lower, we can see a move down potentially to 4,050. Again, this is going to be a local low, and if we do lose that level, we could potentially come all the way down to retest 3,900. Overall, it is not looking too amazing, and the downtrend is intact while the price remains below this downtrending diagonal trend line. If the price is able to break above this downtrending diagonal trend line, that is when we expect a move back up to 4,500. So right now, we are in a downtrend until that downtrending trend line does break. Now, that doesn't mean it's time to short. Again, we've been telling you we were taking shorts over here. We're looking for corrections ever since here. Now is the time to capitalize on those shorting positions and actually look for possible reversal points for the S&P 500. But until that downtrend breaks, we are still very much in a overall downtrend. The same goes for the Dow Jones. We've actually broke underneath that base of support. Again, we are looking for a continuation lower. If we do take the measured move of this rising wedge formation applied to the breakdown, you can actually see the measured move is targeting these local lows at 29,000. Again, unlikely we come all the way down here. But what it is suggesting is we are in this downward trajectory, and the downward trajectory could take us that low provided the downtrend remains intact. The downtrend represented by this downtrending diagonal trend line, meaning while we remain underneath this downtrending diagonal trend line, we could potentially sweep these lower levels. If we do break back above that level, we then expect a rally back to 35,000. Let's go ahead, guys, and jump into Bitcoin. I wanted to briefly interrupt today's video to discuss the two exchanges we use on this channel, Bitget and BingX. So which exchange should you sign up to? If you look to the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see the list of differences in relation to KYC requirements and the countries these exchanges offer services to. The first link down below being the Bitget link, and the second link down below being the BingX link. No matter which link you sign up to, you're going to get up to 15% discounts on your trading fees, up to $5,000 in trading rewards, and of course, you'll get access to every single MegaWhale exclusive bonus campaign we run on these exchanges. Alongside that, Bitget and BingX are incredibly similar. They are both ranked top 10 in terms of trading volume. They both have extensive liquidity pools and market pairs offering up to 125x leverage. And most importantly, they both offer protection funds for their users to protect you against any third-party hacks. So get started now and support the channel by clicking the links below. Thanks for listening. So starting on Bitcoin, there is a lot to discuss. Right? We have the high time frame. We have the weekly candle closing in a day and a half. We have the monthly candle closing in about 3.5 days. We, of course, have the total cryptocurrency market cap, which is at resistance, which is very important. And, of course, we have the short-term price action, which, again, is very, very choppy, but at the same time, incredibly important at determining the likely next move for Bitcoin. So, before we get into anything, let's start on that total cryptocurrency market cap. And the total cryptocurrency market cap is actually very important at assessing the overall strength of the entirety of the cryptocurrency space. If we see the total cryptocurrency market cap going up, we generally see Bitcoin go up as it holds the market dominance, but we also see altcoins start going up. If we see the total cryptocurrency market cap fall back down, we are generally seeing corrections market-wide for every single cryptocurrency. There are always going to be a few outstanding cryptocurrencies that perform better, and there are always going to be some that perform worse, right? This is completely normal, but on general, when we see the total cryptocurrency market cap go up, all altcoins and Bitcoin will generally go up, and the reversal when it goes down. So right now, we are actually sitting at a pretty important resistance level. This resistance level here on the total cryptocurrency market cap is a 1,000 day long resistance level. If we go back to the Bitcoin chart, that level of resistance is almost akin to that $32,000 level of resistance on the Bitcoin chart right over here. You can see the total cryptocurrency market cap chart and the Bitcoin chart look very similar, as Bitcoin does hold the majority of the dominance in the total cryptocurrency market cap. So the charts do naturally look very similar. However, the total cryptocurrency market cap here is at a level of resistance, and this level of resistance spans from the 1.25 trillion to the $1.28 trillion level, meaning if we break above the $1.28 trillion level, we could expect to see altcoins and Bitcoin continue aggressively upwards. This would almost be the cryptocurrency market as a whole bullish trigger, meaning the entire crypto market as a whole is bullish above this level, while the entire cryptocurrency market as a whole is relatively bearish below this level. And bearish, do I mean bearish in a downtrend? No, I don't. We are very much in an uptrend, but we have relative weakness in comparison to this entire price structure over here compared to the one below, meaning this red level, this resistance zone, it should be considered like a flipping point between a monthly downtrend, right? We entered the monthly downtrend over here into a monthly uptrend, right? This is going to be that trigger point, meaning if the total cryptocurrency market cap can break above that level and continue upwards, that could trigger a continuation in the broader market for cryptocurrency to as well continue upwards, pushing all asset prices higher. Now, however, if we do reject from this level, we could actually see a pullback toward the uptrend. The uptrend is represented by this black trend line. If we do see rejections from this level, Bitcoin as well as altcoins could see an aggressive pullback, and it's something to very much consider moving forward. So again, not going to say too much about this other than watch that red zone. Watch that level of resistance moving into the coming week, particularly into the monthly candle close. If we see weakness at this level, if we see rejections from this level, it could indicate we could see some rejections to follow for Bitcoin and altcoins. Let's go ahead, guys, and jump into the high time frame charts. So, as you know, in 3 days and 1 hour, we're going to be getting that monthly candle close. And this is probably the most important monthly candle close we have seen ever since the breakdown of this level all the way back in June 2022, and ever since the break above our respective horizontal trend line ever since May 2019. So about 4 years, 5 years, this is the first bullish breakout on the monthly scale we have seen from this horizontal level, and again, one of the most significant breakouts we have seen for a very long time, and it is absolutely paramount that Bitcoin is able to close this monthly candle above this level. Before we say anything else, I do want to make sure everyone is 110% aware. Just because we break a monthly candle above this level does not give 100% certainty that Bitcoin will go up. There is absolutely nothing in trading or investing that can give 100% certainty. However, if we look at what has happened in the past, if we look at prior data, we can say that based on historical data, when Bitcoin has achieved a monthly candle close above its respective baseline of support from the prior bull run, we generally see in the coming months a continuation upward to retest the dotted trend line. We have seen that 2 times, and in both times we have seen that play out. And therefore, if we're going off historical data, we could tell you a monthly candle close above 32,000 will validate a continuation at some point up to 48,000, which is going to be the dotted trend line, which is a dead cat bounce high of the prior bull run, or should I say bear market cycle, okay? Only when we break a monthly candle above that dotted trend line, that is when we enter a bull market. And that has happened in both instances within that bull market territory, meaning this green zone, according to the 4-year cycle. So are we in a bull run? No, we're not. Are we in a monthly uptrend? Yes, we are, if we break a monthly candle and close it above 32,000, which we could potentially be doing within 3 days' time. So now that we know that, what will happen if we fail to do so? What would happen if we fail to close a monthly candle above? Well, it simply delays it. It will simply push it back another month, like we saw in instances of 2015 back over here, 2016, sorry, just in the 2016, January 2016, we saw 2 monthly candles close just below that trend line, and then we saw a third one close above, pushing the prices upwards. So again, generally, when we close this monthly candle above, we do see a continuation upwards. Going over to the daily chart, if we do close that monthly candle above, we can see that level, that $32,000 level, then flips into support. This level of resistance now will flip into support, meaning this, whatever it is, a 500-day long level of resistance has turned into a 500-day long level of support. Strong resistance turns to strong support, meaning we could definitely come back down and retest it, but it would tell us we are bullish while we remain above it, and if we drop back below it, that is when we newly enter a downtrend. So right now, this is an attempted breakout. It is not a validated, it is not a confirmed breakout, as we do need that monthly candle close, but if we get that monthly candle close, the breakout becomes valid. Moving over to the weekly chart, we can see within 1 day and 1 hour, we will have the close above the RSI of 62.09 point on the RSI vertical horizontal scale. Again, every time we see a break above this level, we see a continuation upwards. In fact, actually, we did see that break above, and we did see that close above just 1 week prior. Right over here, we saw that break and close above, and since then, the RSI has resulted while the Bitcoin price action went up 17%. So you can see how effective these breakouts have been. Moving back to this level, if we do see a break back below this level, that would validate a possible negative momentum shift and entrance into a downtrend. So we're looking for bearish reversals. We are also looking on the weekly chart for any point of which the RSI closes a weekly candle back below this level, as a breakdown back below that level on the 62 RSI will result in a continuation down based on historical momentum data. We can see every time we close or break below this level, we end up seeing a continuation downward, whether it be a 20%, a 15%, or even like a 45 to 60% correction. We generally see a correction toward the downside. So if you're watching out for reversals on the weekly chart, we are watching out for that momentum. We're looking for negative momentum shifts to predict any sort of reversal. Until that happens, we are generally going to continue in an uptrend until the RSI breaks back below that trend line. Moving over to the 2-week chart, we can see on the 2-week chart, we've actually got, again, a little bit longer, about a day and 1 hour or so, until we close this fortnightly candle above the Gaussian channel midline. The Gaussian channel midline is sitting at just $30,000. What we have seen in the past is every time we break the Gaussian channel midline, we will continue through the Gaussian channel to the other side of the channel on opposition to the direction of break into, okay? So the opposite side of the channel in comparison to the direction of which we broke in before we break back below that respective break-in point. Meaning, if we break through the Gaussian channel midline, we will continue through it, okay? We'll continue through it before we break back below it. So what this tells us, if this 14-day candle breaks above and closes above, it tells us there is a massively increased probability that we will see a 14-day candle above the upper band, which is around 36,000, 37,000, prior to ever falling back below this $22,000 mark. That is very important because what it is doing is defining the range of price action on the fortnightly that will be acceptable for Bitcoin to move within without breaking the overall pattern we've seen in the past. So we could see something like this, okay? We could definitely see that. All right, very unlikely, but we could see it. That would take us all the way down to 22,000 prior to breaking below this lower band. That, according to the Gaussian channel on the 14-day, is possible. What is more possible is generally when we do see a break through the midline, okay, we'll go to the daily chart. When we do see a break through a midline, we generally continue through the channel to the bottom side quite soon after. There are instances like over here, where we break below it and then we push back upwards a little bit, then we break back down. But you'll notice it's very, very rare that we'll break through the midline of the Gaussian channel, okay, even over here, and actually push the opposite direction. So we saw even over here was a rejection. That was fine. We broke through the midline. We pushed through it. We saw the top side. We broke through the midline. We pushed through it. We saw the bottom side. Okay, so it's very rare that we actually break through the midline of the Gaussian channel and then completely revert the price action only to break back down on the way of which we entered it in. It is very unlikely that happens. So what we can say for sure over here with a little bit more certainty is a 14-day close above this level will tell us the probability that we break above the upper band prior to breaking back below the lower band significantly increases. So it's a very, very good thing. And again, a piece of bullish data for the market. Moving over to the short-term charts, this is where things get interesting. If we're taking a look at the current price action, Bitcoin is obviously sitting above the $32,000 level. However, we are still seeing some things we have to be aware of. This is very, very important, guys. The short-term price action will determine if Bitcoin continues upwards or if it rejects back down to 32K, right? The short-term price action will tell us what is more likely. So I've gone ahead and identified the key trigger points on the short-term chart that you need to be paying attention to. Let's take a look. So for a continuation downwards to retest 32,000, okay, we need to see a loss of the bullish support level, okay, right over here, which is between 33,500 and 33,400. This is going to be our base of support within this horizontal channel formation, okay? A loss of that level will result in a continuation downwards to our next level of support, which is sitting around $32,000. Again, this is something we've been aware of. We're actually taking shorts on Bitcoin ever since this level over here. If we go over to our channel over here really quickly, you can see some of the profits. We were taking over a $13,000 profit short right over here. We took another $13,000 the other day, profit short just from shorting Bitcoin at these levels. Again, you don't have to be longing every uptrend. You can take opportunities within uptrends to short these pullbacks and capitalize on these corrections, as you can long from these supports and capitalize on these bounces, okay? Not everything is always up. Even uptrends have moments of downtrend. Even downtrends have moments of uptrends. Do not put the goggles on and only look in one direction and ignore everything else. Because if you only look in one direction and you ignore everything else, all you are doing is you're cutting yourself off from 50% of the market's opportunity. If you cut yourself off from 50% of the market's opportunity and you lose half your trades, you're only capitalizing on 25% of what the market has to offer. That is nothing. That is absolutely nothing compared to what you can be doing. So drop your biases, drop the goggles, look at the chart for what it is, look at the market for what it is, and capitalize on any move. You can capitalize on any move if you focus and pay attention and be objective in your analysis. We're digressing a little bit over here. A breakdown of this level will validate a loss of the horizontal channel and a likely continuation lower. Just as a break of 35,000 will do the opposite. A break over 35,000 will validate a break upwards and continuation higher for Bitcoin. So we are very much within a short-term range. If we take a look at the short-term range even more, we have this level over here, which is very, very important. This is where 34,500 is going to be a short-term bullish trigger. Meaning if we break above this level, we are short-term bullish up to 35,000. While we remain underneath this level, we are actually short-term bearish, targeting 33,500 like we did over here once, and we do expect, again, if the price fails to get above this level here, this short-term resistance level, we'll go ahead and draw it in. We do expect the price to come back down and retest that level. So that is a short-term price action, guys. Let's take a look at the short-term from a technical perspective. If you have been following the channel, you would have known we talked about our momentum shift a few videos back. This is going to be our negative trigger. You can see how this one played out. We actually saw a breakdown of the 4-hour RSI. Upon breaking down the 4-hour RSI, we saw a pretty nasty correction of Bitcoin right over here, dropping all the way down 3.75% as we expected in our prior video. So if you paid attention, you capitalized. Congratulations, guys. We've done it again. I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Most importantly, I hope you learned something. If you've got any questions, leave them down below. If you're interested in joining our VIP, check out the sale. It's got 2 or 3 more days on the sale. Again, we only let in limited people to keep the numbers small. And again, guys, we'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Cheers.